Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bootcamp. Today, we're going to be talking about progressive web apps. Today, we'll have Zeeshan with us. We'll have Daniyal Nagori. He'll be joining us any minute. Um, I think Zeeshan might be joining us. And we also have a new friend with us, Ejaz Ahmed. Welcome.
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, Sam. So, Ejaz, how is it going? How are you?
Alhamdulillah, it is going well. Everything is
Going
good.
well. So, we noticed you completed all of the bootcamp projects.
Yes, Alhamdulillah, I did.
So
Not
can you
not not all of them. The React
seven
Yeah.
of them? Yeah, the React ones.
Yeah, that's true.
So can you tell us a little bit? Give us an intro about yourself. Where do you live? What do you do?
Yeah, obviously my name is Jaz Ahmad. I live in Islamabad, and I'm actually originally from Jatna, Azad Kashmir. So
Okay.
I graduated in uni from Islamic University, International Islamic University, in PWA with specialization in marketing. So,
Okay.
but after graduating, I wasn't able to get a job for a very long period, almost a year. I did get one job, and I spent there like 1 month. And after 1 month, they said that we are satisfied with your performance, but we are downsizing.
Okay.
So
When was
that,
this? This was recently or before Corona?
yeah, it was way before Corona. You know, when Imran Khan came for the first time, and
Okay.
the dollar value quickly dropped from 100 to like 150 in few
Okay.
months. So
Okay.
that was really downturn. I graduated in 2018, by the way. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
We
around
have
that time.
Daniel with us now as well. Hey, Daniel, how are you?
Hello everyone.
Okay,
Assalamualaikum.
I just want to add something. I
Yep.
spent my childhood in Kashmir,
Yes.
Bagh and Chattar and Muzaffarabad. But basically, my father was deployed in Chattar as a commanding officer of a army unit, 42 field, and therefore I have very fond memories of Kashmir. Welcome, my brother.
Well, thank you.
So Ejaz,
So
let's look over your projects that you've done.
sure.
Is your screen available? Can we see them? Can we see what you've built?
Yes, sure. I can share my screen.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Sure.
Uh, so I'm sharing my screen.
Okay, I'll add
Is everything
here.
good?
Yes, I can see your screen.
So this is my portfolio, and these are the projects that I did.
Nice.
This
So
is the first one.
you've built your own website for your portfolio.
Yes, yes. So I was also building this website while I was working on other projects.
Okay.
So
Now we
So-
have, by the way, now we have made it compulsory for everyone.
Yeah.
oh,
So you
I
bought.
see.
Thanks to Ijaz.
Yeah. So you bought your own. You bought your own domain address. It looks like.
Yes, 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 I did. So I bought it from Namecheap.
Okay.
So this is
How much
some of the
How much
projects.
did it cost?
It was around $9, $9.9. So that would be like around 1,500 rupees Pakistani.
Not bad.
Not bad.
So these are some of the projects that I worked on. So obviously,
Can we go through them one by one quickly?
Sure,
Starting
sure
with
we
the first project you built.
sure. This is the e-commerce app I built. So this is using React.js, and
Okay.
it has all the products. You can view the products. You can add to cart,
Mm-hmm.
and it will show this toast notification here, and you can remove from the cart.
Okay.
And these are different categories that you can check. So this is using a Redux for state management.
Okay. Can you show your project as well?
Yes. The code?
Your Git. Yeah. Git. Yeah.
Yes. So this is the project shoe store. So this is using store API. The Redux store. So as you can see, these are the actions. I'm using the latest Redux toolkit. So I have different slices as well. So
Great. So
this also has a Stripe integration for the payment.
So somebody can actually send you money as well and purchase it, complete the whole transaction?
Yeah, they can complete the whole transaction, but obviously it is running the development version of Stripe API. So this is the, I used serverless functions for the backend. So I used Vercel hosting for serverless functions. So this is obviously this is for core settings. And then you can see that I'm calling the Stripe payment API and creating this integration. And this is in a TypeScript as well. So this is a Vercel function that I'm calling. Obviously, I can fill all the fields. There's also form validation. And I can fill all the fields.
And the UI looks nice as well. Very clean.
Yes. Yes. I'm using a base web API for this.
Okay. Which API, sorry?
Sorry, base web UI. So I can complete the entire transaction. I actually don't remember what it was.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
So yeah, I can do.
I'd rather not put your credit card on the YouTube for everyone to see anyway.
I think I think this should work. Here, let's test it. 20135. So I can check out, and it is going to show this loader while it is in. And obviously, after the payment sector is going to show this and the success page. And if it fails, it shows. The next project is this is the project 5 for the landing page that we did.
Yep, the animation, the web animation.
Yes, the web animation. So this is using. I use different UI libraries for every project, so I could get used to of a different way of working with them. So this is using Chakra UI. This is a different UI library. So I made the call to action to check my portfolio or GitHub, so people can directly go there. So these are some of the courses, and it's responsive on all sizes.
Very nice. Can we see that as well? Can you make it smaller and show how responsive it is?
Yes, sure. So if I am doing this, I can responsive. I can check on Pixel Excel too, and it looks responsive.
Very nice.
So it is fully responsive on all the screen sizes.
Good job.
Thank you. This is the COVID tracker that we made as part of the second project. So this one is using Redux as well. So you have this table for the COVID summary. Also, this is fully responsive as well. So you can select different countries from here. And then you can also select different types of charts. So for example, if you want to check bar chart, and once you open this, update this country, it's going to update everything, all the parts here and here as well. So it's making a new request and then updating the UI.
Can you select Pakistan and see what's the condition right now?
Sure, I can do that. Pakistan. So you can see that a lot of people have already recovered, and the new cases are also. So today, for example, we got 1,000 cases, 1,400. So you can check that new confirmed, total recovered. So this is the application. This is the quiz application.
Yep.
So this is using design. So that's a different library. The original application didn't have this feature. for example, now you can also select which type of quiz you want to take, and also select the difficulty of the quiz.
Okay. Good.
And then you can start the quiz. And obviously, I'm not really good at this. I'm just going to select. And once the quiz is completed, the quiz has completed.
Yep.
So 2 more questions. And it's going to tell us that we are done and this is our score. Then also we can just start again. By default, it's going to select the random option.
Okay.
And this is the expense tracker. So this is using TypeScript, and it's fully tested using a React testing library. So we can actually go to the source code and we can see that. So we can see this is a SRC, and we can see that, okay, that's the wrong one. Sorry.
That's fine.
So you can go and see this quiz application. You can see the SRC, and then the test and everything. I think it's not showing the test here.
And this is the quiz. I think you were talking about the expense tracker, right?
Sorry. Yeah, expense tracker. Let me go back. Yeah, this one. So SRC. So these are the automated tests. Different tests for checking the balance.
Okay.
So I'm testing.
Can you open up one of them? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So I'm importing this balance component here. This is also using Redux. So I'm also testing the Redux actions. So this is I'm getting the test by ID. So I have given I test ID to these elements, and then there should be something called this. There is also this.
So you're checking
Redux.
whether the element exists or not in there?
Yes, I'm testing that thing exists. So I'm also testing the Redux type, because this is using Redux. So I'm also testing those actions as well. Then finally, I also worked on a Gatsby blog. Because if we include, I was doing the old SAM projects, so that also included Gatsby blog. The new one actually has this as a project 8, the new one, the revision.
Yeah.
So you can see that this is using Gatsby and Contentful, and these blogs are coming from Contentful. And if you update, yeah, exactly. If you update anything from the Contentful, it's also going to update here. So I have set webhooks, which actually this is also a progressive web app, but I think since I'm using Incognito, I'm not getting that option. So this is also a fully progressive web app. So these are the projects that
Can we also see your Contentful model as well while you're here?
Sorry, which model?
The Contentful.
Yes, I think I have to sign in. Let me see.
Incognito, you'll have to sign in, yeah.
So let's see. I don't think I have. I remember the password right now, but I think I used.
That's fine.
I used Google for it. That's what
it seems you had a very good experience of programming.
Sorry. I actually don't have any CS degree, so
very impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah.
I actually used to. I didn't want to waste my time, as I was sharing with Bro Adil and Sarzia that before that I didn't want to waste any time because I didn't have any job for a very long time, so almost a year. So during that time, I used to wake up at Fajr and I used to go at sleep at Isha. So between this time, I used to study full time. I didn't used to do anything else other than study. So that's why. I didn't know any program, so I started from very basics like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and especially when I was doing JavaScript, I didn't understand anything like because there are two different JavaScript. There's ES 2015 plus, and then there's an older one. So it was really confusing time. Like, why are we using arrow functions? Why can't we use other functions that I learned 10 lectures before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we open
So
up
that
this
wa-
blog post object here in the model?
Yes. So sure. So this is the using the title, which is using a short text and a slug, published date, expert, and a body and featured image. And then I have different.
The
Uh,
articles.
I think should be in content.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the four of them that I've made that you can see here. So if I add a new one, it's going to actually refresh and redeploy the Gatsby app.
Okay.
So this is for Gatsby. So these are written in TypeScript, the fourth one and the fifth one.
Very good, Ijaz. Thank you so much.
Ijaz, I am very impressed. Daniyal it's easy to impress me, but it's very difficult to impress Daniyal. But
I see.
you are,
Thank you.
Very impressive, no doubt. Very impressive. And it's
Very
a very
impressive.
good example to others.
Very good
Thank you.
example. Now, what we will do is basically, first of all, from now on, you are the class representative for the whole class. Whoever is studying, everyone, we want to make you famous, and of course, at the same time, benefit. We want all Pakistanis to benefit from your expertise. Therefore, what we are going to do is, now if you have time, we are going to hold a question answer session once a week for 1 hour. You can answer student questions directly.
Sure. I would love to do that.
And we will find out whether you will do it in English. The good thing is that all the students will learn and try to communicate with you. For international projects, it is critical that your English speaking ability is okay. It doesn't have to be very good. For example, Adil's English is very good. Mine is a little bit weak, but it doesn't matter. The thing is, if you are able to convey your ideas, so therefore we are going to have a 1 hour question answer session. The dates and timings you and Adil will decide after discussing it, and the tool where students can ask you questions directly face to face. Maybe we will use Zoom, or maybe we'll use the same thing. Let's see.
Sure, no problem. I would love to.
And the thing is, you are also going to be part of my personal team, and Daniyal's and Adil's. We are, inshallah, the plan is, if God helps us, the plan is to basically start a team here, first of all, and then we will send Adil and Daniyal and a lot of other people to Bay Area. And it all depends. What God wants, we are just His servants. But we will do our very best. So therefore, you are now integral part of the core team, and you have earned it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And please stay with us. We are going to ask you also different things as we go forward, and you can contribute. So therefore, you are always welcome to join the Adil. If Ijaz has time, we will make him a permanent part of the class.
Sure.
He can ask. He will be representing the students. Students will send him questions, and he will ask them here.
Yeah.
Sure.
So therefore, there must be. Of course, he will have some of his own questions as well. And it is not necessary that he understands. He doesn't understand them. Even sometimes, because when you are starting to learn, you understand, but you think that others might not have understood it, because it has been so long which I have been learning. I have forgotten that what I was when I started off. And Daniyal, it has been a long time.
100%.
Because 2 years, 3 years, in my case, it's 10, 15 years. So I've forgotten how difficult it was when I started off. So therefore, Ijaz, you are always welcome to join this class.
I also, it's pretty recent for me, but it took like 1 month to learn Redux. So that was really tough. I can relate to the struggle.
Don't worry, Ajaz. Now don't worry. Otherwise here, so you will be.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now let's get started with what do you call
progressive web apps.
PWA. To get started, Daniyal is going to go into details. Let me give an overview and introduction. What happened was, I don't remember the year. Steve At that time, Windows was king. Apple had just started coming up with their iPhone strategy, and Steve Jobs continuously was talking about HTML5 apps. And I actually, because he is no longer with us, I don't know whether whether he was not telling the truth, or whether he didn't believe it, or whether after he got sick, the company did not follow what is the plan. What happened was, he was the first person who was talking about HTML5 apps, and at that time, I thought the reason was the standard was at that time for apps was Windows apps. If you wanted to create a world-class app, you had to create a Windows app. So therefore, he was talking about HTML5 apps. Now, what happened was iPhone caught on, and then they introduced their app store. It also caught on, and they started making very big money off that. So therefore, this strategy is called walled garden strategy. They basically closed off all avenues for anybody else to have an app, except if you go through the App Store. And when you go through the App Store, if I remember correctly, you have to pay 30% tax to the App Store, Apple.
Yes, sir.
Now, because he is no longer with us, I have to be lenient with Steve Jobs. Most probably, he was sick at that time, and other people took over, and of course, it was very profitable. And they forgot about HTML5 apps. Then, for a few years, Windows went down. Windows started talking about HTML5 apps, but not to that extent. Then Google introduced the concept of PWAs. And progressive web apps, actually, Apple hates that name. And they said, the whole idea was that it is going to be a website, all the technologies which are going to be used in the website, but that website is going to install on your desktop or your iPhone. And you will also have an icon on your desktop which you can click, but you don't have to go through the App Store to install it. You go to any website and then install it, and the icon will appear. Now, there were two problems. First is, PWAs do not have access to all the APIs which native apps have. All the sensors that is on a mobile phone, because right now most of the mobile phone industry has become very major. Most of the people consume their data through mobile phones. The problem was that all the APIs were not exposed do not have a web API. Why? Because of security reasons, and of course, because of economic reasons as well. Apple never wanted their Safari browser is always lagging behind Chrome. But you have to understand something. Google, it is in the interest of Google to have not a closed garden, but an open garden approach. Why? Google has 90% of Android market, but still they want an open garden because of economic interest, because they make most of the money in searches. If it is a closed garden and you cannot search the app APIs and app data on the client, you are not going to make money. So therefore, it is in the self-interest of Google to have an open ecosystem for the apps. So therefore, in the long run, what Google is going to do is diminish Android-specific apps and open up as much APIs as possible on the web apps. Therefore, it is predicted, and they have 90% of the market. But this is against the economic interests of Apple. Apple wants the PWA bandwagon to move slowly because they want to milk in the next 3-4 years more, make some money of the App Store. Now, what Google has done is they have opened up their App Store to the to the PWAs. You can deploy a PWA through the App Store. Now, this is happening. Gartner has predicted that by the end of this year, 50% of the native apps will be replaced by PWAs. Even if you don't believe that figure, even if that is 30 or 40, it's a huge amount. The main problem is the APIs. Google is working on it. The thing is, Apple has lost control because they only have 10% of the market. But the problem is, they have the 10% of the wealthy market. In America, they have 50% of the market. In worldwide, for example, in Pakistan, Apple will be less than 5-6%. So therefore, they do not matter. Apple iPhones do not matter that much in Pakistan and other countries. But in America, it is 50%. And the second thing is, all the wealthy population who are willing to pay for the apps are basically on Apple. Only poor guys like me. Daniyal most probably has an iPhone and I have Android. Yeah?
I'm waiting for iPhone 12, sir.
Adil also has an iPhone. I've got an Android. The point is,
I also have Android.
So therefore we are the poor guys, but we want to be rich. So therefore, when we become rich, we are going to buy the latest. I'm budgeting for the new Apple Pro that is going to come up with the Apple CPU. Let's see. Okay. Now this is the background. So therefore, you have to understand the two limitations are speed, performance. JavaScript a little bit slower than compiled language, but this is going to be changed in the next 6 months or 2 years with then assembly. The second thing was the APIs. These are the two things. The APIs. The APIs are going to be critical, and Google is working on it, and me and Ejaz and Daniyal are going to land up in the area and basically buy, maybe, why not? I'm thinking about buying Google. We will have a force of 100,000 people, 100,000 developers. One of my friends used to say that Bill Gates doesn't come to Pakistan. And he used to say that if we create enough developers, he will come and he will offer players in Badshai Masjid in Lahore, because these guys love developers. And Daniyal, let's now, I've given a brief background. Why don't you start off by giving any questions, Ijaz, at this stage?
No, I don't have any.
Okay. Daniyal.
Yes, sir. You have already explained very well and in detailed explanation you have done. So just I have a question. I will definitely show some example of PWA, but I have just a question from Ajaz. Ajaz, what you have done in PWA?
PWA, which one? The one I made here?
Yes.
Yeah. So in PWA, we usually have to use something called service workers. What they do is they cache the outgoing and incoming request, and they also cache all the content. I think it's in session storage, but feel free to correct me. So in case of create React app, it already comes with a service worker built in. So all I had to do was register that service worker for the application to become a PWA.
Perfect. The reason to ask you about the PWA, because the PWA is very easy, and Sardia is already explained it very well. We just need to register it. And in React, what I know, I believe the all guys have already learned React. Otherwise, all guys know about React.
Yeah,
All of
we've
us.
we've done most of the React stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in React, by default, we have React PWA, as Ajaz said. So Ajaz, have you done some project in PWA? Do you want to share?
Yes, I have done 2 projects in PWA. One was an expense tracker. I can share my screen. So, can you see it now?
Not yet. Yes.
So this is the expense tracker, which was also rewritten in TypeScript with tests. So this has PWA integration. Obviously, I can't show it here because I'm using incognito. So if I go to the source code inside expense tracker and inside src, and I think it's in index.tsx. So by default, React comes with something called service worker. So you can register it here, or obviously you can unregister. So these are instructions that they give. So if we go inside the service worker, which is here, we can see all the code for this one. So this is
Perfect.
obviously in TypeScript. So it is using the location, and then on load it is adding this process and starting this service worker, which is all obviously caching all of this stuff. And there is also the in public. I think it should be in public. There's a file that you have to
Basically, it
give
starts
for
from
this
a public
manifest
folder.
manifest.json. So you need to give this file. So it's usually in public folder here in CRA.
Ajaz, how did you test it? Through a build the project?
Uh, I actually installed it on my own phone and tested it. So
Definitely,
it was working.
you need to build the project every time.
Yes. So it was working when I installed it my own phone, and I also shared it. But I think there should be there's a performance. Sorry, I think yeah, Lighthouse. So you can obviously generate a report, and if it's a PWA, it is going to show up here. So it's going to obviously test all the factors SEO like. So this is obviously a Lighthouse built into your. So you can see 3x3. It is installable and it's a progressive web app. So it needs these three things. It should be fast and reliable. It should be installable, and it should be PWA optimized. So all of these things. So
Exactly.
we can test it like this as well.
Perfect. 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 Let me share my screen and share it with the slides with you guys.
Sure, I'll stop it.
Yes, you guys can see my screen.
Yes.
Perfect. Basically, as Sarzia already explained it very well, a progressive web app with come multiple features in any web applications. It first it gives us a mobile application like behavior, like if we create the responsive application. So in any view, like in tablet, like in desktop, like in mobile, it gives us a very mobile application like behavior. And the PWA application, when in which application we add the service worker or register our PWA application in any application. So whenever it open in our browser or at any other device, so it gives us a pop-up of add to home screen, as Ajaz already shared with us this his project. So add to home screen, when we will do add to home screen, so you can see this type of behavior. You can see this. You can install the application in your mobile phone, and whenever you will open it, you can see it the behavior same like mobile application, like you have a Facebook application, like you have a Google, and so on. So you can see this a very pretty behavior. And same thing like this offline support. So if we have an application like any application which I can show you, uh, okay, later I will show you any application. If I just run it and my internet connection got disconnect, so what will be happen? Definitely the data will be lost, and I was unable to see the data. So in offline support, progressive web app gave us a support, and it gives us all the data in offline mode. So something like that, push notification. You can see this app notification we got from websites. In any web application, you never receive the notification like this, like a mobile application. If you have a mobile application of Facebook, so you can receive the notification like this. But in web application, you never receive like this. So PWA gives you this feature. So this is the very pretty features of PWA which gives us, and it the implementation is very simple. We have just two files. One is service worker and one is manifest.json. So if Ajaz, you can show the code of manifest.json and service worker, so we can brief it more detail.
Sure, I can share my screen.
So
So
guys,
this is manifest.json file. So it contains the metadata about the application. For example, the short name of the application. Can you see the screen?
yes, we can see.
Okay, so
Can
it
you
has.
zoom in a little bit, Jas?
Sure, I can, no problem. So it has a short name. It has name of the application. It has different icons that you can use, the favorite icon, and the sizes. So it has metadata about how the icons, the name, how it's going to display on different operating or systems or in different icon sizes.
Yes,
So
basically from manifest.json, what we can do, if we want the icon from desktop, we want a different icon in desktop. We want different icon in mobile application in mobile. So we can handle from manifest.json. If we want what will be the behavior of the application when we launch it, so everything we can handle from manifest.json. Same like just please open the service worker.
sure. So this is a service worker.
Yes, I can't see.
Uh,
It's too blur. Okay, so guys, what I can do right now, I just register a service worker. Service worker is what actually do. From service worker, we just register our service. We actually register our application using service worker, and we just cache all the files what we want in offline mode. So let me share my screen and show you the example. Can you guys see my screen?
No, Daniel, it's gone.
Uh, can you
Yes,
see
now
now?
we can see.
Okay,
Now we
perfect.
can see.
Okay. Okay, first I just show you in plain HTML file our service worker. Okay, then I will show you the application of React. What we have right now here. Don't worry about this code. You can just Google service worker, Google the official documentation of service worker, and this PWA is here. Okay, here is you have this piece of code, and let me explain it what it does. Basically right now we don't have nothing, we have nothing much here. We have just a template of HTML page, and here we have a script. In this script, what does this code? Let me explain it. Okay guys, this piece of code, if service worker in navigator, this means this service worker exists in the browser or not. To check the navigator service worker in our browser, this piece of code will work. It will check in our browser service worker is in our browser or not, because this is a feature of browser. Some browser is not support. Okay, some browser is support. So if the service worker is exist, then navigator.serviceworker.register register our service worker.js file. And in this file, service worker.js file, what we will do, we will do multiple things like push notification, like offline support. So if we want to serve the files in offline mode, if I got the internet disconnected, so what I will do in JS file, in service worker.js file, I will do the code is here. Like I will say cache my files, cache my all files, like that. Okay, and we will show you how it happens. So right now, just I have a console.log service worker is running or not in our Google Chrome. So I just run this code, and it will not serve by HTML. We need a web server to serve these files. So what you guys can do, just for the testing, you guys can install the extension from VS Code live server. Okay, here is our live server. Just click it, and when you will install it, because I have already installed it, so when you have installed the live server, you can see this port bottom right. So I just click on index.html and I'm here. Just go live. Just click on go live, and it will check. It will check the service worker is exist or not. I just put it h1 tag as well here. Hello. Okay, and just inspect it, and I'm checking my console, so you guys can see this. In this browser, we have service worker is supported. Okay, so it means yes, it is exists in this browser, and navigator is basically a detector of all the browser features. So now, right now, what I can show you, I just create a React application, and the same thing by default React will provide you. Here is we have done a simple application. I just because we don't have enough time to rewrite the code, so I just show you the code. Otherwise, what you will suggest? We need to rewrite the code, or I just explain it already implemented example.
Whatever you're comfortable with, Daniel. It's up to you.
Okay. Okay. So here is we have a structure. Just give me a second. I just open my code files here. Open, open recent. Yes. Uh, why it is not working? Desktop PWA. Yes. No, not this one. PWA. Yes, this one. Okay, guys. So whenever you build a React application, so the structure will be like this. Okay, we have a build. Whenever you will build the project, we have a public folder. We have a source folder. In this source folder, what I have done, I have created few pages, few components. One is about, one is home page, and one is users.js. These three components I have created, and here you can see this service worker.js file. This is basically React provide us this service worker file, but we don't need it. Okay, whenever you build your project, if you can configure it, if you can refactor it, so definitely you can do it. Otherwise, you build your own service worker.js file, it will be much easier, because the source code is available in official documentation, and it is nothing to implement much harder. So what I have done, I did not work on this service worker file. What I did, I just created my another service worker dot dev.js file, and just created a function here. In this function, what I did, same thing which I explained earlier in index.html and plain JS file, navigator.serviceworker.register, and this path is service worker.js file path, and here we can get the result. So I just run this project and show you. Uh, yes, maybe I want no. PWA, LS, okay, Jan, start. I'm just starting it. It is starting. In the meanwhile, I just look my service worker file. Yes, in the public folder, you can see I just created a service worker sw.js file. What is the reason to create this file? The reason is if I did not create a file here, so anytime I need to build my project and check what I have done, yarn build, then I will deploy it or serve from definitely this live server. Then again I change, and then again I need to build it. So that is why I just created a service worker.js file in public folder and register it from source file. Here is I have created a file sw.dev.js, nothing else. Okay. Here is any confusion? Okay. Just open it. Localhost 3000. Yes, guys, you can see his this result, and I also log it, so it will be much easier. Here I don't need this for a minute. Okay. Console.log register. I need to cache clear. I will show you what I am doing in a few minutes. Here is we have this all and unregister this service worker. Let me, yes guys, yes. So what I have done here is I have simple sw.js file to register our service worker, nothing else. And in this file I will do whatever I want to push notification, I want to implement offline support, I want to implement whatever the pwa features provide us, whatever the features pwa provide us. Okay, I will do the work in this asw.js file. So, and here which I have created a sw.dev.js file, just I just write a code navigator dot service worker dot register, and here is a path of our file. Here is our file path sw.js file, and here and because this register function provide us a promise, so in then block of code we can get the result, and in catch we can get the error. Because I did not get any error, so then block of code was what error, and here is we have. Okay, now I am here sw.js. So what this code is working, let me show you. First thing is, here is I am in our react application, and I just disconnect my internet. But the thing is, if I disconnect it, so I will lose my connection. So we have one feature in our browser tab. Here is the tab application, and you can see in service workers, as Sarzia said, and as I mentioned earlier, the service worker basically this feature is provide the browser. This is a browser's features. So some browser support, some browser does not support it. Okay. So yes, you can hear me.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, we
Okay.
can.
So we are here, and what I'm doing right now here, I'm just making this tab offline. Okay, and now I am refreshing it. You can see the data is not coming because we have lose our connection from our server, from this terminal, because this terminal is when uh, we uh, when we register our service worker. So whenever we will refresh it, we will reload it, it will come up the data from service workers. So right now I am offline, so I don't have anything. When it is online again and I refresh it, so the data is available. So the task is we need to achieve in offline this data, the nav bar, the about page, and the users page, and everything. This data is coming from the server, from the API. Let me show you. Let me show you. Here is our users.js file. Yes, here is. You can see this is coming from the server. This is the endpoint, and from here I'm just getting the data, and it is rendering it here. Nothing much. So the task is when we will offline, so the data will be available. So how it is possible? Very simple. In service file, I just open this block of code. What we are doing here, basically you have already learned in advanced JavaScript listeners, event listener. Basically what we are doing, this dot add event listener, the add event listener is install event listener. When this service worker is installed, so do this work. Basically it provides us a callback and do this work. What I am doing right now here, event dot wait until, and it provides us this caches object. So in this caches object we have a property of open. This is not I did. You can take this piece of code in this official documentation. Okay, here you can find this code, and also I will share it with you guys. Here is, you can see this all the implementation provide by Google official documentations. Okay, so right now here we have this caches dot open, and here is we have a cache data variable. Whatever I want the name here, website, we want to save our data in cache, the name should be website. Okay, here we provide the name, and then again it provides us a promise. So in this then block of code we can get the successful data, and is there any error, so we can get in dot catch. So I just make it error if we get it. So I just also comment it out here, this files. So one thing you should understand, all students, you should understand one thing. Whenever the web page is load, the data is coming from anywhere. It should be the local server or it should be the deployed server. The data is coming from where, you can see in the network call. Here is a tab in the browser network. You can see the data from where it is loading. So you can see this all the hits, sw.js, manifest.json, JSON, all the files you can see in this network tab. If it is loading from the deployed server, if it is running in local server, so everything you can see in this network call. So what we need to do, if we need to do this home about users homepage data in offline, so definitely we need to store this all the data somewhere in this browser tab. So how we can save this? Definitely, as I mentioned here, you can see in the network call, like main.chunk.js. So you just copy this static folder and paste it here. Data.addAll is also a function, and it takes an array. So all the files you can put it here. which files you want to cache, and you want to serve in offline mode. If you want index.html in offline mode, if you want about.html in offline mode, if you want users.html in offline mode, so you just put that all the files here. So what I have done it here, I just put it all the network request, but I can see it here. I just copy that all the files name and just paste it here, like bundle.js, chunk.js, 0.js, and just comment it out. The user tab, the API, and about. And I just show you the code of here. Run it, console.log career application, and I just unregister again my service worker, and also delete all the cachings. Okay, now I reload it. You can see here in service worker, which I just unregistered it, it is registered it again here in service worker tab. Okay, it is activated and running, and I'm going on about page, I'm going on users page, I'm going on home page. Now what I should do, I just offline the service worker. So now I will refresh it. Should I get this data or not? Okay, let me show you. What is wrong there? It should be there. Okay. Let me show you this things again. First, I reload it again, unregister it, and register it again. Okay, it is working properly. Home page, about, and users. Let me show you our home page. Here is we have users, about. Okay. Yes, guys, you can see
So
offline. It should be work, guys. Why it's not working? Let me debug it. It is most common thing. Website got registered or not? I result undefined. Why? Result undefined. Search.js. SW.js, and let me offline service worker unregister and clear the cache. Okay, let me refresh it. It is registered. Now it's registered. About users, everything is clear, everything is working well. Here is we have index.html static, and everything is okay. Now again service worker, about users, home. It should work. We are not getting any error in service worker. Let me check it again. Let me check it again. Give me a second. Change the name. Restart the server. Uh, 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 uh. console network. Let me see the files in network tab. Ah, I got it. I got it now. Okay, guys, it's very good. The bug is in runtime. We got it. Let me show you what is wrong here. Here is manifest.json. Here is zero.chunks. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going here. Network one. Wait a second. It's the error is one dot chunk and it's a zero. I just wrote it zero. I believe it will work again. Here, unregister it, save it. Just check the files. Zero.chunk. I just what I can do is give me a second. I think it's a caching issue. I just open it in incognito mode. Uh, just open it in incognito and try to run it here. In network, an application, here is we have cache storage, p1. Here is we have one chunk.js, and in network call, what we are getting, we just see it again. Here is we have zero.chunk. Okay, 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 okay. Okay. Static JS zero chunk.js. Okay. Here is we have don't need this one. Just running it here. Bundle.js. All files which we want to cache, we just write it here. Here is we have exactly this one. Yes. Here is we have zero chunk. That is okay. Main.chunk.js. Yes, it is. It's service worker index.html and forward slash. Yes, all file is existing. Now let's try it again because I don't think the code is wrong. And delete it again. Just run it. It is register and network. Okay, application. You just check it here. Okay. Offline. Ah, it's working. What I did, man? I did nothing. It's working. What is wrong there? In incognito mode, it is working. I'm reloading it again and again. Yeah, what is this?
I think the application is already installed.
It's
Yeah,
Murphy's Law.
Yes, it's offline. Yes, it's offline. It's working. Oh God. Now, okay. Now I'm going on about route, and I will reload it so you guys can see. It will not reload. It will not load. The reason is because we did not cache it. Here is, you can see. Now I'm going to cache it. Guys, the bugs is the life, the part of our life. Otherwise,
Uh, I think
the bugs, guys. Okay. So now I show you the about page. Okay. Here is, I'm going to offline and just reload it. You can see.
yeah,
Perfect. Same like that, we are going to give our users tab, users route or users component. Okay, I'm just going to application and offline, reload it. So what we are doing is here, whatever we have the component, whatever we have the files in network request, we are just caching it using our service worker. You can see it here. And when we will offline, it will load our page. So here is, we have home page, here is we have about, and here is we have users. So now I'm going to offline it again, and it should work. Okay, yes, here is, we will see one magic. Now I'm going to reload it. You guys can see where is our data, JSON data, which is coming from a server, this API. From this API. Okay, guys, we are getting our data from this server. So I am right now offline. So definitely, here is, I can show you the code. Here is our fetch request, and we are offline. So how we can access this data? It's impossible. So definitely, this all features provide PWA. If we want this data in offline mode, so what we can do? This is very, this is a pretty beautiful feature. So we can just put it our API here. The all JSON data, the all fetch API data will be cached. So now I'm going and just online it again. Users, you can see. Okay, now what I'm going. Okay, now I'm just offline it. Now you see. This is basically, we have a PWA. Any question?
Very nice explanation. And the good thing is, we had a bug. It allowed everybody to see how you debug.
Exactly, sir. Definitely, it's developers uh,
The thing is
part of
that
life.
the difference between a developer and a non-developer is only this: a developer is always persistent. When I started learning Java in the in it was 95. What happened was that we didn't have any books or anything. It was just came out in an alpha form, and you had to do a class path to tell the compiler where all the things were. And in the class path, you had to put a dot to say, please also search in your current file. I didn't put it. It took me 15 days to figure out what was wrong. I was totally crazy. I wanted to kill somebody. For 15 days, I just spent trying to find out where the dot was.
you didn't have as many resources back then either, did you? There was no Google, right?
Okay, yeah. Now Stack Overflow, Google, and all the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, you were just reading books to figure it out?
At that time, there was only one book which had a few pages on it.
Yeah.
And in the book, the dot was there, but the problem was that I was never looking at it from that perspective.
Yeah.
Also, I have a push notification example. I think the time is not we have. So in next class,
Go
I
ahead.
will show you, so in next class, I will show you the push
Okay.
notification as well.
Okay. In the next class, what we will do is try to finish off PWA. And Daniyal, you will start off by completing the push notification. Adil will then deploy it on apps, and then we will move over to showing how to build some tests. Ijaz, please prepare
Yes.
yourself for showing some of your tests as well to the
Sure,
phones.
no problem.
And basically, Daniyal is going to cover the theory of the tests. Because testing is very important. We are going, I don't want to spend time here right now, but testing is extremely important. Most developers don't understand it. Professional developers do not do development without writing tests.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Bye, everyone. Have a nice,
Thank you so much.
nice
Thank you,
weekend.
Daniel. Thank you, Jaz.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jaj.
Thank you.
And you
Thank you.
also
Thank you.
such a welcome addition to the team.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye.